So at preliminary level, which is either ND or 100 level to 200 level, you have to do everything. So from there, you may have a notion of what you will like to be. But you may be confused if you are good in everything.
Then is it possible
So
to be good in everything?
it's possible. It's possible. For instance, for me to decide on what to do, in fact, it took me a long time. So some of my friends will just tell, I used to think that maybe you are going to,
Yeah.
but only one of them told me that it is better you go for textile if you want to be in academics, so you can have more research to do and write on. Not that we cannot write on fine arts, but when you look at textile, it has to do with culture and tradition of ethnic society group. So painting can be anything. It can be esoteric. It can just be. So that's why I changed to. I'm also an art historian. Yes, I have 2 masters in art history.
What does that connote?
At being an art historian, you are a full researcher in African art. Then, from there, move to textile, PhD textile. I think maybe because of my present where I work, that's why I opted for PhD in textile, because it took me, just as I've had said, a long time before I could decide that I'm really going for textile. But naturally, when you are a painter or a sculptor, you will know much more about textile, because those involve forms, how to mix color, and how to create design. You just want to transfer it on fabric.
Well, you briefly mentioned being an art historian, so I guess you're the best person to ask this question. What's the current situation of our artistic history? Let's talk about Nigeria now. We have diverse languages, diverse culture, and in recent time we're also fighting technology from robbing us of our originality as a tribe, as a people.
Thank you for that question. In Nigeria, I don't think, you see, it is very, very, not only in Nigeria, generally, in the whole world, it is very, very difficult for any ethnic society to forget its background. That affinity is there, the background is there. And why textile in art history and art history can research on those is that the way you dress, people can easily know that you are African. Even being an Africa, they can easily get where you are coming from, compared to popular culture that comes and quickly it goes. You now, your name, if not by your name, your accent could just distinct you that, oh, Miriam is from so place. That's just it.
Very interesting. Now let's go back to the art, teaching of art. I mean, you hold a doctorate in textile art, and yes, and you know, it's a whole lot, and you're practicing in a state where there's this level of practice when it comes to textile. You know, we have the Adire more in Ogun State. We have a lot of Adire artists. What's that competition like in the practice? Are there times where you feel like there's more that can be done? And you've also mentioned that you also back up your work with research. So how has that been like for you?
Thank you very much. Let me correct one impression. Ogun State does not, they are not the only one that engage in adire. In fact, we are just fortunate, maybe because we are not far from coastal uh, area. Oshogbo has its own style. Ibadan has its own style. When you move to Oje in Ibadan, history had it that this adire of 18 came to Abeokuta from Ibadan. Yes, you know, the migrants, they are going into communal war. People will want to, move from a place where it's not conducive to a place where they feel that they can have peace of mind. So some of those that came from Ibadan, now, by the time they are practicing, although we were told, we've not substantiated that there are some there in Abeokuta then. But that Ibadan home they have more knowledge and improved style.
I do understand that, you know, everyone have their uniqueness in whatever they do.
Of course.
The Ibadan people have their own, the Abeokuta people have their own, the Oshogo people have their own. But I think there should be a point where, you know, the common goal is towards reflecting a particular thing.
Well, I agree with you to some extent. When it comes to commercializing it, there could be, you know, Adire generally is communicating. They are communicating to someone that this is it, this is that. Earlier, before now, it is all these physicians that the people that are not feeling well, or they feel that they are afflicted with some kind of strange happening, that they will now tell them, go and use this type of adire. That is where Oshogbo has an edge over others. When you look at Oshogbo, it's purely cultural and telling you things. Ere Ibeji, Ijo Omo, baby, no, Eba has some baby, and all those things. They are communicating.
Trust me, I would want you to expatiate more on that. Let's go on this quick break, and when we return, the conversation continues. Don't forget you're watching World of Art with the Lord. Thank you for staying tuned. You're still watching World of Art on Ogtv, and today we are in the studios of Dr. Doyin Labode, who's been walking us through the journey for him in becoming a doctor in textile art. And now we're just going to dive into the conversation of your practice. I mean, we have a couple of your works here, and I know you're also an art educator, but let's look at your work. Let's start with this. These are samples of your work. Walk us through it, you know. What does it mean to be a textile artist, practicing in Ogun State and also teaching it?
Okay, actually, those ones are meant
This looks
for.
very beautiful.
Yeah,
The
thank
color
you.
combination
Yeah,
and
thank you. They are meant for commercial purpose, not for cultural events. So, and that's like being a painter. You know, I
Does it
told you.
reflect on a particular attire, the one meant for commercial purpose and the one meant for cultural purpose?
It depends on the client. It depends the kind of fabric he or she wants to use. You know, I told you the other time, those ones that they are communicating. If you are yet still a young lady and you're looking for husband, there are a type that they are going to make for you. Yes. So, you know, I made mention of Sumbaby now. So any Yoruba person knows the meaning of Sumbaby. Baby is just a string by a band by your waist, and you know, lady being attractive people. So there are some,
Reference
yes, string that they will put around their waist, and the kind of adelaide we used to cover, even in order to exaggerate and get people's attraction. So they need to, yeah, yes, and use adelaide to cover raw. But this is purely for commercial purpose. And only thing that is different there in some of not only my work, any academic adelaide work, is that type of color. They have their own color mixture. That one is far different.
Why? Why is it
Thank you. You see, part of my research, I discovered, not only me, well, we discovered that when you use raw color, your fabric fade very fast. So it is better you mix your color. Thank God we have all these synthetic chemicals now, unlike traditional one. You know, we have traditional dye, and we have synthetic dye that you use chemical as mordant just to bind the color so that it will not wash away when you are washing them. But that of elu, the potent of that, those are leaves that are used relies on how long they stay inside that dye. Unlike this synthetic one, you just time yourself within probably 15-30 minutes, you are done.
I've seen a couple of times where artists like you know, textile artists, there's this thing they do like this, they rope the thing, you know, they gather the whole thing.
No, you've bubbled them together.
Yeah, and
This
then
this
bring it
this
out.
one this one this one style. This another style, marbling. This is your lining. If you like, by the time you use needle and thread and needle, it becomes stick.
So you do
stick
that one too.
everything. Then the one you are talking of is tie. That's the most popular. Please, you use no, not a rope, fiber, just a fiber. Use just this one. Pick it here. Do it this way.
And then dip it into the chemical.
Yes, it's done. So this place tie will resist dye of penetrating. Dye will not penetrate this place. So that is why they call it tie. You tie it. Then by the time you dip it, you dye it. Tie and dye. Adi. This is Adi. Adi.
Oh.
Adi. D. Tie it. Dye. Re. Adi. Re. So.
So for this one now, how did you come up with this design?
This one is fold and dye.
Okay.
It's not tie and dye. It's fold and dye.
Okay.
It's fold and dye. It has okay, it's still there. You just need to follow the line.
Do you map out? Is there like a map on the cotton?
Yes, yes. That is why it's more in academics. You know, everything has to be scientific. You must be able to repeat and get accurate results of what you intend to do. So you need a layout. Prepare what a physical representation of whatever you want to do.
So that's what you
So
now map out.
yeah, you map out. If you ask me to repeat this one for thousands,
You have a layout.
yes.
So this is all of the struggles you go through to make this. And then people come to the market to buy these things. People do not really understand all of the process you go through to make something like this. you know. It's looking very beautiful, but
But there's been a lot
Even
of
the
hard
fabric is very
labor.
expensive, very, very expensive. You
let's
can
talk
see.
about that, the part where people need to understand that this is human work going into place.
Yes, actually, some of them, we have different types of
Yeah,
consumers. Some of them, they do,
they know.
yes. But the percentage of those who are ignorant of the type and the
The
design
work, yeah.
is more higher than that of. So that is why any academic or any um, contemporary Adire uh, dyer will not want to go to open market. It's better they order for what, yes, because they can hold him responsible if those things are not good.
Okay.
So yeah, some of them
All
they
right. I mean,
do.
while we wrap up, because time is really not our side, and
Okay.
I'm really enjoying this. We still have some of your work that are not textile. We have some of this, and I just
Okay.
want to, in just 2 minutes, 3 minutes, walk us through your kind of expression here in painting.
Yeah. My painting, I've been painting now over 3 decades.
Oh my
So,
God,
and I don't,
20 years.
uh, one of our artists, a senior colleague, used to say that artists are born,
Mm,
they are not made.
mm,
And I feel that since this is my first background, and so I've participated in so many exhibitions,
mhm.
but one solo. So I still practice my painting. Um,
So this is acrylic, pastel.
yeah, this is acrylic,
Mm,
is a plastic uh,
resin.
paint. Once it congeals, it can never washed off. All you need to do is just to use ordinary water
To clean
to
it.
to to clean it. I'm still working on this. This is oil color.
Mm.
This oil color. Women, knowing them for what they
I
are.
think you're a huge fan of women. I mean, there's a
Ah,
lot of your work here that's.
no, it depends. It depends. Well, I like women because
You like
my
women if
mother
you like.
is a woman, but
Yes.
I'm not a womanizer.
Oh, no, no, no,
But
it doesn't have to be.
it depends. I used to have two models then,
Mm,
two models. So I'll just quickly, please, kindly post
mm,
for me so that I can just get something. So, apart from, yes, someone accused me, so don't let me.
I think it's a common thing with, with artists. All right, this is how far we can go on the program today. Thank you so much for having us. I just want you to give that young artist watching you right now just that one word of, just one sentence to just wrap up the whole conversation to encourage them to be more in this practice.
Young artists watching this program, I just want to encourage you. Being an artist doesn't mean that you should appear untidy and giving impression that you look like someone that is not accepted in society. Please kindly study, view, mix with people that can give you more inspiration on whatever you are doing. Thank you.
There you have it. Thank you so much for having us again. This is World of Art, and we bring you all the conversation via the interviews with art practitioners, experts in this practice. My name is Miriam Osman. I'll see you next week, God's willing, where I bring you another artist, and together we weigh in the advantages there are to visual arts. This program is brought to you by Prince Engineer Yemisi Shilon, legal practitioner, Africa's largest private art collector, Grand Donor and Chairman of Council Yemisi Shilon Museum of Art, in collaboration with Society of Nigerian Artists, Ogun State Branch. Thank you for watching. See you next week. Bye for now.